Welcome back, guys. We're going to walk through the Ground Control 3.0 from Lippert. It's a 4-point leveling system. Has auto features, manual features. It's a really convenient way to, if you have this option on your trailer, to once you get to the campsite, to just let this level the trailer instead of working the jacks yourselves. So in your unit, you're going to have a keypad that looks. It'll be off when you first feature it. So once you get there, turn it on. Let it itself up. It's going to say ready. So assuming we're in a campsite, the first thing you want to do is you do want to kind of level your trailer a little bit side to side before you start using the auto level, just to kind of give it an option. There's only so much stroke in these jacks, so if you get to the end of a stroke and you haven't put some blocking or something under there, you might go into an error code on the system and you don't know why that's happening. So what we say is get it in your campsite, give it a little bit of a level side to side, put some blocking under your jack points to give it a little bit of extra room clearance there, and then do the auto level. So first thing to do, assuming you've done all that, click your auto button. It will take a second to engage, and then going to start sensing where it's at. So it's going to try and level front to back and then side to side. It operates the jacks one at a time. This can take up to 3 or 4 minutes depending on how much it needs to work at it. And you'll hear, I don't know if you can hear it on the audio, but the hydraulic system is whirring away as it's raising and lowering the different jacks on the front, and then it'll start moving towards the back. So this, like I said, this takes about 3 or 4 minutes, so don't panic. You're going to wait until you see a success on the panel. Now that we see success on the panel, it means it's done. The trailer is now level. You do have the option to manually adjust them a little bit. These things are pretty accurate. There's a sensor in the system or in the unit that tells them when it's level, so you're usually pretty good when you hit that success. But if you wanted to change them yourself manually, you have all the 4, so front together, left or right, or rear, and you can do them individually by clicking left or right. That would push them down. So if I wanted to go a little farther down on the rear, I would click the rear down, and they would go down a little bit. And then if I wanted to retract the rear, you click retract, and then retract to bring them up a little bit. Same thing for all options. The other parts you can look at is you have the keypad over here. If you start scrolling down, it's going to tell you your battery charge. Again, you need to have a pretty good solid battery on board and charged to be able to operate the leveling system. And you go down, it'll tell you where the strokes are on the rear. So the rear stroke, left and right, how far down they had to go to get level. The front one's the same. And then you have your tilt angle, front and back and left to right of the unit, and then you have auto retract rear, and then you have auto retract all. So I like to go through the options, and then you can go into manual mode to operate the jacks themselves. When I'm done camping and I'm ready to start bringing the jacks up, I always like to go and use the retract rear first instead of retract all. So auto retract rear, enter to begin. So enter, and then I'm going to start bringing the rear jacks up. The reason I don't touch is because I still need to potentially move the fronts up and down depending on how high they need to get the unit back on the truck. Start with the rears myself. And then that'll take a couple of seconds for them to go all the way up, and then when you get done with that, then you can bring back your truck up and then raise your front to get either on the truck or lower the front to get back down to where the hitch mount is. And that's your electronic leveling system. If you ever get an error, to recycle it is just turn the power off, give it a few minutes, and then come back. Typically when we see an error like that, it's because a jack has run out of stroke. So the trailer is on a piece of land that's so unlevel that it just doesn't have the jack stroke to be able to put a jack all the way down and level it up. So that's it for the 3.0 leveling system. Thank you.